What's going on, guys? It's your boy Fano here, and I've actually got some pretty cool gameplay of the new CSGO gloves that were recently added as part of the Operation Broken Fang update. So here is all the gloves in the game, all 24 of them that were recently added. I'm going to go through each and every one, show you guys how they look in game, inspect them a little bit, and give you guys my thoughts. But before I get into this video, I'm going to be giving away an Operation Battle Pass to a lucky viewer. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe for that. And yeah, let's get right into this video. We're going to start off with the Operation Broken Fang Gloves. These are the gloves that are going to be replacing the Hydra gloves. They basically have the emblem or the logo of the operation. So here are the jade ones, I believe. Here, of course, we have the yellow ones, the yellow banded Broken Fang gloves. I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of these operation gloves, these, specific emblem type gloves, but I do think some of them look pretty good, especially the yellow and the jade. Here are the unhinged, I believe that's what they're called, the Broken Fang gloves unhinged. Not too bad, but I probably wouldn't be spending my money on these gloves. And then here we have the Broken Fang gloves needle point. Again, nothing too spectacular, just some bronze looking gloves. And then, bronze, silver, gold, and jade. The jade ones might look good with some emerald knives, but other than that, probably would stay away from these gloves. Now we're gonna move on and start taking a look at some of the sports gloves. Here we have, I believe, the sports gloves Slingshot, I think that's what they're called. They're pretty decent, but I mean, there's nothing too spectacular. It's not like we haven't seen any red gloves in CSGO, so I don't know, I don't think they're that interesting particularly, but here we have the sports gloves Big Game. And these gloves are kind of cool. I mean, they have some pretty interesting patterns on here, but I'd still prefer like the Omega gloves over this. So if you're building that yellow themed loadout, I would not go for these gloves. We also have the Scarlet Shammag, and I don't know how to pronounce it, but it doesn't seem too interesting. Again, it's a pretty bland color red. It's like this star pattern or whatever on it. Not a huge fan of these gloves, honestly. I feel like they could have done better with these sports gloves, but let's keep going. We also have the sports gloves Nocts, and I really don't know what they were thinking here. These gloves are just pitch black, nothing really too exciting with them, honestly, at least from first impressions. I don't know, I probably wouldn't be using these gloves. They look very basic, and yeah, at first I thought that there was some rendering issue on my PC when I saw these gloves. I was like, where's the skin? But either way, let's shift our attention to the hand wraps gloves. Here are the new Caution gloves. I actually kind of really like them. Out of all the hand wraps, these are probably my favorite. The Caution hand wraps look really flashy, really cool, and I think they're pretty decent, especially in low float, so definitely would want to pick one up at some point, especially if you're into the hand wraps. Another pair of gloves here, we have the Giraffe. I'm not a huge fan of this one, but hey, it's a hand wrap gloves. I honestly would stay away from them. We also have the Desert Chamog. This one is slightly better than the other one, I think, but either way, they both have pretty bland colors and nothing too great about them. We also have the Constrictor. It's slightly better than the other gloves in my opinion. I think they're pretty decent. However, I probably wouldn't be using these gloves unless I own some like snake camo themed loadout. Now these next couple of gloves I actually really like. These are the driver gloves Snow Leopards. These gloves look like they will go perfectly with like some vanilla knives. So like my vanilla butterfly knife would probably look really good with this combination. So definitely check it out if you guys have any vanilla knives. I think this combo works perfectly, and these gloves are pretty darn good. Likewise, the black tie driver gloves are also really nice. I'll see if I can get myself a pair of these gloves at some point in the future when their prices go down a little bit, once a couple of them get unboxed, because I think they fit in really nicely with just about any loadout. Here we also have the driver gloves Razon the red. They basically look like a discount crimson weave. I'm sorry to be so blunt, and if you actually like these gloves, that's totally fine. They're not bad gloves. It's just, I don't know, for me personally, I'd pick the crimson weave over these gloves any day of the week. And then here we have the Queen Jaguar, and the colors aren't really there for me. I kind of would rather go for like a snow leopard or a black tie out of these driver gloves. But no, they're not terrible. It's just, yeah, they fit into the theme of the operation. It's just not my cup of tea. Moving on to the specialist gloves, they finally added the specialist gloves Marble Fade, so I'm really excited about that. I feel like these gloves have been in the game files for a while now, or something similar. I feel like we've seen leaks before, but either way, the Marble Gloves Fade, definitely going to be a fan favorite at some point. I think they look really solid. I might try to pick one up myself at some point, but yeah, I know they're going to be very expensive, so definitely give them a shot if you can afford them. And moving on to the next pair of gloves, we have the Specialist Gloves Lieutenant Commander. I think the colors on these gloves really fit in with like the Rixall skin, the Rixall Aerosol agent skin. I think it'll look awesome with some of these new agent skins, especially for like winter themed camo agents. Definitely give them a shot. I personally really like the colors, and they look really good when they're clean. Likewise, here we have the Tiger Strike. I'm really glad that they're starting to add more orange themed gloves to CSGO. I think we are missing some of that, so it's a step in the right direction. And yeah, let's keep going to the next pair of gloves, which are the Specialist Gloves Field Agent. The first thing that comes to mind is FBI Agent Ava. Also, the MP5 Agent skin will match with these gloves. And now we're gonna move on to the Moto Gloves Blood Pressure. I think they're pretty unique. I like the design. I think they're pretty solid looking in game. We also have the Moto Gloves Smokeout. Nothing too spectacular about these gloves. I'd rather go with like a spearmint over these gloves, but that's just me. We also have the Moto Gloves Finish Line. So I really like how they look. Very eye-catchy. If you're into green colored loadouts, these are the gloves for you. But here we also have the Moto Gloves Third Commando Company, and I'm personally not a huge fan of these gloves. There are a couple other gloves that look better, obviously. However, at the end of the day, gloves are gloves. But that's about all I had for this video, guys. So until next time, this is Fano, signing out.